Good morning. I'm so happy that you have decided to join me while I play in my fall rework. But before that, I wanted to tell you that I've made a change up here, as you can see. I wanted more light for you and for me, but primarily for you, and I wanted more space so that we could do more on the tabletop. The glare was because of the lovely glass cutting board, which I love. However, I think I was working against myself with that. So I have removed it to another table that I can use for my work, but this workspace seems to me to be brighter, and it's not for lack of having lights. Oh yes, I'm like in surround sound of lights here. So please do let me know what you think about this. I even think that things will be brighter now when I pull them up. There was something, as you can see, there was just a little, this is just a little tiny glare compared to what it was. I'll stop that. So this was last year, or the year before's start on my fall journal. And I do love fall. I love the colors. I love the change of weathers, particularly in Florida, where you can get days that are sunny and dry. So these were the 2 pages that I had. I had just these 4 sheets in this signature. The cover, I used the cover of a magazine. The back is another cover because the paper is quite heavy and delicious. And under that, as you can see in here, I put heavyweight neutral paper. And I used this, I just had fun. And then all of a sudden something came up and I wanted to do something else and I put this aside. So, collage, there's a pocket that I had put in here. This morning, I took some time to make this for the edge because I wanted this to reach out a little bit more, as you will see why in a moment. So I'm going to put that on the front. I put this on because I thought it was fallish looking, and the colors here worked very nicely with the colors here. Yes, this, I think you get more view. Okay. And then I added this because I wanted to have a little backing on that. This then went in here, a flip, but I didn't realize, I did make it a pocket, so I was learning. Okay. And the center is something that I love. It's probably in the top 10 of the things that I've ever taken a paintbrush to. This was the motivating picture from the magazine, and a little glue necessary there. And so I continued it over here, challenged myself to decide to paint this over here, and I'm quite happy with the way things worked out. I was particularly happy with the mix of paint here to extend this. But enough patting myself on the shoulder. And while I'm at this, I'll tuck that down a little bit. Okay. And on the back of this magazine paper, and here a piece of paper from this is magazine page. This was a major piece. I think it might have been the back of a magazine, and I made a pocket. So that was as far as I went, and it was tucked aside, and I'll tuck it aside over here. And okay, well, that's all right. That's not so bad. That's there. Look at all that space. I think I'm in love. Okay, now that's going to go there. And I have taken time before joining you. I've taken time to make some pages to go in there. And let's go through them. This was a piece of my craft paper, and I used a Tattered Angel's Glimmer Mist through a stencil to make that with the pretty glimmer. So that's going to be next. And then the next one, another page, fallish page that I just loved from one of my magazines. And I loved this one, and then I realized, uh-oh, look at this. This is part of that. Well, these two work together so beautifully. Well, I decided to back this one with some vintage French music, and I put them together, and I used Tim Holtz washi, and of course, and glue, and I made a page, and I'm happy that I did now. So, the next page is another piece of the Tattered Angel's Glimmer Mist through a stencil, and I just threw things at it, and I'm quite happy. So I used the best part of that paper here, and a little Tim Holtz up at the top, and a little bit of my own spraying there, and in the center, you know who, more of these pages, and I did some, as you can see, I did some stitching, and I just love this chrysanthemum to death, and I love this basket of fall white, so why not put it together? I used the same technique. I was going to hinge with fabric, but I decided no, I'd be going forever, and that wasn't what I wanted to do. I want to play in this, so hinge on the inside, and two very neutral papers for play purpose. And I believe that this was part of a freebie, I think probably from the Graphics Fairy, and a treat picture that I just love, and I had to have it, but it wouldn't work this way quite to suit me, so we'll just have it that way, and I'll put something here, and the idea will be there. This is a piece of Rachel of Roxy Creations straw paper, and this was my test for spraying through the placemat, and I'm going to be getting them into my shop as soon as possible. I have to take pictures and type them in, and there they'll be. So, and this is going, and I looked at those and I said, can I straighten them out? And I said, no, I don't want to. I'm getting so independent. I'm not going to do that. So, here we go. Here we go. In we go. Here. And here is now a tidy little, I'm going to not call this a signature. I'm going to call this a little journal, because it makes me happy, and it has everything in it that I enjoy and that I'm happy about. So, no, not thinking. This has to be in the middle. Absolutely must, because I love it. And now, there we go. There we go. Now, there. Okay. So, today I'm going to get this on, and I thought, oh, I'm going to share some of the, these are some offcuts, and here is some of the ephemera that I had made that was just sitting inside of it, and I thought I'd share them with you because they'll be going back in. I made these three, and I love this backing, and I believe this was one of my stencils, of course, but I used multiple colors, and I just had a good old time with that. I wish I had some more of that paper. It's beautiful. So I put these four together, and they will go back. Some of my needlepoint silk. This one that I added some embellishment to the back, and I'm going to, I think I'm going to call that finished. But my pumpkins and some stamping here. Oh, this is nice to have all of this room. And this was my first ever embellished paper clip. That's going to have pride of place. I wonder. Well, I'm just going to see about that, whether the clip will go over it or not. Oh, the clip is in that position. I don't think so. Well, I can always make another. And this one, Fall 2018. More of that page from the, that I gessoed the back of it. From that magazine. The cover was thick and beautiful. And another tag. Needs a little bit of smidge of finishing. And this one, which just tickles me because it's a real Franken piece and one of my first evers. And maybe a simple writing spot with faux stitching on it. I have to, I know that stamp is right behind me. And this one, I don't know why this tickles me the way it does, but I loved doing that one. I am so sorry that I just put all of this aside, but now I have it to play with. This is a background that I cut up. This is a piece of napkin on the back, and some magazine. And last but not least, I think this might be a very favorite. I'm kind of tossed. Many layers, paint, stenciling, stamping, collaging. So, all of these get to go back in there. But now they're just not going to be in there in an it'll do manner. No, it will do. You put these aside. Let's make some tucks and writing spots and so forth. But, okay, this stays here. And in here, some cuts. Yes, some autumn cuts. The rest of the tree that's going sideways. And so forth in this one. Let's see. And more play pages. This is a gift bag that I cut up. Magazine page. Tattered Angel spray mist on there. And oh, I love that. Wouldn't that be a lovely belly band? Wouldn't that be a lovely, lovely belly band? Where is one of the neutrals? And wouldn't those colors go beautifully? Wouldn't those colors go just beautifully with... Oh, let's see about dropping that a little bit. I'll drop that just a smidge. Yes, that's better. Okay. So, that. The rest of that one. Love those, but they're kind of large. I don't know. Oh, and magnolias. Oh, love magnolias. We have, when we built this house, we put 4 of them in, and they were only little guys, and now they're 30 feet tall. A lot of people in Florida don't like them because they drop these big brown velvet lined leaves, and I know I probably should listen to that, but love them too much. Love them too much. More magnolias. Okay, and oh yes, here's another magazine that was kind of in bad condition. I don't know where I found this one, but as you can see, that's when you're keeping it for yourself, why not? I don't know. Oh, for those. I guess I do have kind of a thing for pumpkins, but the rest of the cut up, and I did some copying of my my ephemera. Okay, so I'm going to put this over to the side and make a beginning. Those are easier to get to up there. Let's deal with this. Just want to get that cover so that it says something. So that it says something, and I want that to be way over at the edge. Want that to be way over at the edge, because I want to expand the size a little bit, and that's going to do it. Okay, now I'm going to mark that. I'm going to put that here, and that will show where the edge is, and that will help me when I press it down. Good old art glitter glue for this job. Look at that, just a little space in there. Now, let's go here, and let's hold up the edges, and let's just see. Let's just see. And there, there, there. Oh yes. Oh yes. Well, I'm going to let that dry a bit. I'm going to add a little at the bottom, just because I'm overdoing, but that's okay. Now, I want something there. That's too small. I wanted to make a little bit more of a statement. Had these puppies for a few years. I like those because they have the veining. See, I'm very particular even about dollar store merchandise. Isn't that absurd? Now, well, I can't visualize very well that way. No, that's better. And I'm thinking, so much green here. This needs a smidge of green. Just a smidge of green. Maybe that would be a start, and I don't mind. If it comes over the edge a little bit, that's good. Just a touch of green. use for those red-orange ones someplace else. How about a little lace? How about a little bit of miniature lace? This has so outgrown. I've got another one. I'm going to separate these things. Yes, I am. Now, a little bit of lace. Oh, that's tatting. I have to hoard tatting. It's just what I have to do. Oh, that might work. That might work. That might do. Scissors have gotten away from me. It's just... let's just decide about that. Oh. Nope. Nope. Let's see where that goes. Better. That might get lost. And this is the color that I have out. It's handy. I think I like that contrast with the white there. I do believe I do. I think that's the story. At least for the time being. Whoa. Okay, now I'm going to put these down, bottom out. It says in the fine print, this will be first. put a good deal of it down here to hold it, because this does tend to come through this dollar store puppy. Next is this one. Whoops, you see, it comes through. Just a bit down there. Alrighty, now let's get this one. This one, but first now okay. That one I thought would go this way. This one. It's incredible the way the Fabrifix comes through the leaves, but not through this old, crisp paper. It stays right where it's supposed to be. And let's go now. Similar colors to Halloween, but not, and makes all the difference. There we go. Okay, now let's see where else I wanted to go. Why don't we just think about the back? Yes. No, can't do that way. Oh. All right. Let's just see. What we can do there. I do believe I saw some pumpkins here. I do believe I saw pumpkins here. That one. I don't want this to jump out so much, so they won't, even with that background, although I might consider changing it, but I don't think I will. The green is a stay. I'm going to just take some time and cut that one out. I'll be back. Well, this is simply a case of I have to have it. I guess I'm reverting to my childhood, because this was great fun. This bit came out of here. I know that you know when you're having such fun playing, and here was one of the ones in the package that's seen better days, and it's perfect for my needs. Yes, it is. There's that. And now I think the next one in is this. Ooh. Oh. All right, two together. All right, now. This way, Carol, this way. Now. Let's get those down now. Find out what's going on here. Well, what's going on is there are two of them, but let me move you up a little bit. Get this off. That I know is going that way because of the persimmon stem and leaves. Okay, that way. And that way. Yes, there's the two. There are the two. Okay. Goodness knows, I wouldn't want to have to rebuy those. All right, this one is telling me where it wants to be. And I'm a girl who listens. So, right there. Right there. Came right through that fabric. Love it. Mm-hmm. Come on. Do something. Do something. And that goes that way. And, oh, this one goes this way. And persimmon right over. Yes. Okay, now, what did I say? That one, this one. Well, I'm just going to settle this right now. And this one right there. This one hides a multitude of sins. And now, this needs to come up a little bit. There. Nice and flat. Oops. So far. Now, last but not least, it's there, but it's certainly not a stick in the eye. I have an eye appointment, so I'm going to stop for a while and I'm going to let this gel. Something, something right here on top. Okay. Now, should I trim this so I don't have white here? Excuse me. see what this does. If anything. Yes. Saved by the Distress Oxide. Well, I'm sitting in a chair like a lump waiting to see the doctor. I'll have a thought about this. Just the tiniest little bit of something there. Okay. I'll be back. I'm back after yesterday's trip to Chores and the eye doctor, and now I think that I need to decompress, and there's no better way for me than to play with my fall journal. I thought I'd pick some walnut stain, and I haven't used this stencil in years. I bought this when I was still innocent of mixed media, and I didn't realize that it was a reverse. But the times that I did use it at this time of year, I was quite happy with it. Okay. Let's see. Oh, okay, I'm going to see what I can do now to make this work. Nothing like a challenge like this. It does banish some of the plain background. Oh yes. Okay. I think so. Now, I also think that this needs some vintage photo close to the tree and in the V of the branches. Okay. Here, here, and there. Let's see if it made a difference. Yes, a little bit more dimension. Okay, I'll put the focal over here. Yes, I will. So, that was good fun. And now I want to put on some suggestions of ground espresso. Here we go. use this. Put this down here to suggest, just to suggest this. Okay. Oh, yes, yes, yes. How about another one? Only because I like it. Okay. And up here. And here. And here, just for balance. Goodness. And something suggesting a leaf here. Let's have a little bit of forest moss. There we go. And this little guy with a little bit of green. And some rusty hinge. And a little bit of rusty hinge. Okay, I think I'm about finished with the background now. I'm sure you all agree enough is enough here. Oh. No. Not happening. Now, better. Let's get these out of harm's way. Then let's see where we are now. not have those bright colors so close to each other. No, I wouldn't sew. Here, here, and here. Okay. Now I'm thinking some stamping. Oh yes. Oh yes, some stamping. I don't know why that one is in there. It shouldn't be. But let's have some rusty hinge here. Just a suggestion. Thinking that, oh, good, good. And this one this way. Yes. Here. I could use an acrylic right now, but to press this, but well, that's quite fallish, isn't it? Maybe. Maybe a little bit of forest moss. Little touch of forest moss, just, whoops, silly, silly, silly. Okay. Here. Good. Here. Alrighty. Something to work with. Okay, this looks like the last candidate will we have here? What will we have there? This reminds me somehow of the chrysanthemums. So maybe a little bit of carved pumpkin. Oh, whoa. Okay. We can do that. Down here and down here. Something to work with. Just the littlest bit. That's going to need some drying. Oh, isn't that pretty? Isn't that pretty? Live and learn. So, I think it's time to do a little bit of prettying up in here. And I don't have too much. I don't have too much to add, and I don't want to make it too thick. No, I don't. No, see, no. Sometimes not so much. And I think we're right up against not so much. Darken up the edge here. Now, that's what this needs, a little bit of French music score. Now it's time to pick something to go in there. I'm just wondering. Oh yes. Yes, and this works nicely. I have this next. Going to be thinking about, yes, small stencil. Small stencil. How about some right there? And better. Yes. Getting better here too. Now, who is going to go in here? Not that one. No, I don't think so. I thought I had something. Oh yes. Oh yes. Oh yes. Now, set that aside. My hand keeps going back to that one. Or this one here. That here. And maybe one more. Maybe one more. Maybe. Let's say a start there. Now, whoops, yesterday when I left I said I was going to think of something that needed to pop this corner a little bit, and I decided to go less is more and just put these paper flowers on. So we have this one. These are started. I believe this one goes in here. Oh wowzers, yes, look, doesn't that work well? Well, it does in my close-up view here. And think that will be it for this round. I have quite a few more pocket tucks and pockets to make because we still have this grouping, and these, and these, and these. Ready-made fun. I can see now why you all make collections of ephemera, because it really gets this moving so nicely. Maybe more is more. Yes. So I'm going to clean up a bit, and then we'll be back to have a look and to see what more I have to do to make myself happy. And of course, I'm going to do a 3-hole pamphlet stitch here, and I'm going to use some of my my silk ribbons as the tie for this journal. I'll be right back. Well, I'm back and ready to share. I always feel accomplished when I clear things up and I make room next to my muse, because she's in charge, for my projects that I'm going to be working on. Right now, I wanted to share what I've done thus far this year on this fall journal. Today, I started by using some of this lovely ribbon that I've been hoarding for the edging, because I wanted to make this book a little bit wider because of the pages that I added. I also made this cluster. I wanted it to be there, but not to overwhelm. And I'm thinking possibly, because it's labeled, I'm thinking I also must add to 2019. I'm also thinking that this might find a home in there. On the back, I added this piece of trim and this piece of grosgrain ribbon, and another cluster that I wanted to be fairly flat, unlike the things on the front, and to kind of blend in, but be there. And I just absolutely had to have this persimmon and those roses. I have no reason other than to say they made me happy. So, in here, I used a piece of the ephemera that I had made last year, and this is the napkin on the back. I just added this little bit to the pocket here, because I think the page kind of speaks for itself. And so, in this goes here. I guess there are 2 layers. Good. Okay, now I know. There we go. This paper was part of my Tattered Angels Glimmer Mist Sprayathon, and I just added a little bit of stamping. I didn't get to anything on that one. In fact, I don't think I will. I might just attach some of the ephemera to that page. And this one is waiting. I don't know. It's calling me, but right here it looks like I have to have something. And I did some stamping on the inside of this straw paper. And this one also is going to have something added onto it rather than stuck to it. Oh, and this is how I started today, using this tree stencil that I've had. I don't know why I've kept it all these years, but here it is, used for probably its last hurrah. And so I did a little stenciling for background. This is my upside down trees, but you just have to make believe that you're standing here and the limbs are going over you. It works every time. And this page was last year. And the only thing I added here was the little bit of orange and this piece of writing spot. And in the center, I put my I am a determined girl, I put my first adorned paper clip, and this piece in here because it has my heart, so that goes in here. Maybe something else will, I don't know, probably. There's nothing for here yet, but I certainly have enough ephemera, and so forth. And here we go, and so on. I have a lot of place to continue to play through November, and I shall enjoy every second of it. I hope you've enjoyed joining me, and if you have, I would appreciate your giving me a thumbs up, and leave a comment, of course, and subscribe to my channel. Here's that piece of grosgrain that I added to the edge to add a little width to the journal. And I'm quite happy with these hangover bits here. I'm liking the way they look. So, I'll be seeing you soon, because I'm going to be getting back to this journal, because I have to start to think about Christmas, and I'm restraining myself thus far from plunging in and getting out my my Christmas goodies. But I want to be further along in this journal. Bye now.